Rukuta, an Elementian, is searching for his lost elemental powers, his mother sealed away with guardians before she passed, to keep the elemental dragon Omnithus from finding him as a child. The comic starts off 2 days after Rukuta, Eris, and Talon left from the fisherman's house towards Rukuta's next element. They decided to stock up on some food, so Talon catches fish with his hands, while Eris has to hold the bag and Rukuta sits, recovering a bit. Eris got up to help, but the fish slipped from Talon's hand. He walked deeper into the river to get it, but the fish's speed picked up suddenly. Eris told him not to go deeper and to get a new fish, but Talon didn't listen, and so Eris went closer to tell him. But then Talon got caught in a whirlpool suddenly, along with Eris. Rukuta noticed and immediately got up to try to help them. He jumped and held onto a tree with his feet and grabbed their hands. He couldn't use his elements because he was worried the branch might break. The whirlpool pulled them, and their hands slipped and dragged Eris and Talon into the water. Rukuta panicked, worried about his friends, and immediately let go of the branch and fell into the whirlpool after them. The current was too strong and dragged him down too. Everything went black for him. 1 hour later, Rukuta woke up and coughed up water he swallowed and looked around. Remembering, he went into the whirlpool to save his friends. He noticed a mirror and looked at his reflection, and then a voice called out to him from the mirror. He was confused as the mirror started glowing and shined a bright light. Then, he looked down at his hand, noticing it had gotten smaller, and he looked up at the mirror and realized he had turned into a child. The ground started shaking. He realized it was the rocks, and then the mirror actually turned out to be a rock being named Miro. Then its mirror shined, the image changed, and showed who was calling to him, and it was Talon. Talon told Rukuta that he and Eris were somehow trapped inside the mirror, and it was draining their energy, and they couldn't focus on escaping, so he tells Rukuta to help them by defeating Miro and destroying the mirror. Rukuta immediately took out his trident, the Leviathan his water element guardian gave to him, and he hit the mirror. It cracked, but then it fixed itself. Then Eris's reflection was shown from the mirror. She noticed he was a kid, and then told him that they have a mirror on their side as well, and that it is draining their energy, and that they will find a way to escape, and for Rukuta to find a way to turn to normal and to help them out as well. Rukuta is unable to speak, so he gave a thumbs up to Eris. Then Miro ran away. Rukuta decided to go chase after it and decided to put his next element aside to save his friends. He noticed it ran into a place that it blocked by controlling the rocks. Rukuta thinks, well, he can control the rocks as well with his earth element. He opened the wall and torches lit up, revealing a long, dark hallway. Rukuta walked and wondered about his fox companion named Snow. As he looked around, a rock creature made by Miro jumped out at him when he wasn't looking. Then his fox Snow came out of his bag and froze the creature. Rukuta smiled. Happy Snow was safe, as the rock creature fell and broke. Rukuta thanked Snow for protecting him, and the fox told him that she hid in his bag when he ran to save Talon and Eris. Rukuta said he was worried about her, and said it seemed like it was just them again, referring to the beginning when it was just them traveling together. Then Rukuta smiled still, and noticed this place wouldn't be easy to get through. The mirror had monsters in hidden places. As he and Snow walked down the rocky path, Rukuta noticed a chest. Then 2 rock creatures jumped down, and Rukuta realized the place must be filled with these rock beings. The rocks launched at him, attempting to hit him with a dual attack, but he jumped and used his earth element and slammed them both into the wall, defeating the rock creatures. Rukuta noticed he seemed weaker in this kid form. He doesn't remember being a kid since he woke up in magic elemental water already 16. He remembers a voice when he was a baby and a face like his, but he isn't sure. He realizes a face like his and thinks, could it possibly be his mother? Then he remembered the chest and opened it, wondering if it had a clue inside on how to help his friends escape. He saw a note that read, Miro hides in a dark dungeon and steals the skills and energy of humans. It traps them in a mirror. But if it comes into contact with any other species, it can't trap them, so it turns them into children, such as an Elementian. It can't trap them, so it turns them into children to weaken their power. This can be undone if the mirror breaks from both sides. If an Elementian wears this, they can return to normal and break the glass successfully if the other person in the mirror does the same. Rukuta puts on the Elementian object, and it glowed because it came into contact with Rukuta, who is an Elementian, a being that looks human but isn't human, and he can control the elements if he awakens them. He tells Snow, his fox companion, to let's go through mind communication they share. Since they both share Rukuta's ice element, ever since Rukuta saved Snow's life by sharing his element with her. Then he hears a voice that says to him, "Hey kid, how did you do that?" He didn't even touch the rock monsters made by Miro, making him realize she saw him. The person walked closer and realized what was in his hair, and realized he is an Elementian. She was shocked. She thought all the Elementians had. She realized that might be insensitive. She immediately backed up and asked for forgiveness from Rukuta. She said she is Cyphra, and that she is from Snarrow Town, a place in the mountains in the snow. She said she read a lot about Elementians and that she is very curious about them. She asked, Elementians usually have 5 elements, and that she saw him use the earth element. She said she was lucky enough to escape Miro when she got trapped in there as well, due to Miro being asleep, she thinks. So she hid for a week, but she admits she doesn't know how to leave. She asked Rukuta for his name, and he showed her the note his mother left him before she passed that says his name. Cyphra noticed it says Rukuta, so she assumed he really is an Elementian, then asked, weren't they all wiped out by Omnithus, the elemental dragon? She said to herself, and she changed the subject and said she can use a staff, saying she can help a bit, and made a deal with Rukuta. If he can help her escape, she will give him rice. He immediately agreed, and they ran off to find Miro. She asked many questions. She asked if it was true that Elementians only have 5 elements, and asked, how many does he have? When he didn't answer, she continued since he doesn't speak and said sorry, and that she has never seen an Elementian before, and that she was expecting them to look stronger because they are 100 times stronger than humans. Meanwhile, Rukuta wondered what she was talking about, and that he only has 13 elements, he was told, and wonders what's with all the questions as he ran. Then someone jumped in front of them and told him to stop, and said he's been there for a while and has been eating rocks, and then said don't go thinking you can beat Miro. The guy says he is a Miro protector because Miro saved him when he fell into a whirlpool. Rukuta thought he's pretty sure Miro just happened not to catch him, and the Miro helper admits he is the reason why Rukuta's friends are trapped in the mirror. When Rukuta realized, he got angry. He doesn't like fighting humans, but this guy is annoying to him. The Miro helper says Rukuta is next up to join them, then immediately tries attacking Rukuta. But Rukuta saw and wasn't happy at all. The guy punched the rocks. Then he was confused. Where did Rukuta go? But Rukuta was right above him as he looked. And then Rukuta quickly slammed his feet down onto the Miro helper and jumped back, thinking that's for giving his friends to that rock. Rukuta noticed even though he's weaker in this kid form, the guy still got taken down in one hit, and Rukuta thought he would be stronger. Rukuta immediately ran off to find Miro to save his friends. Cyphra hit some of the rock creatures back, and Rukuta slammed on the floor using his earth element to send one flying up, and snow froze the rocks. Rukuta used Ice Fist on a rock creature. Then he broke down the door, thinking he will save his friends. Rukuta slid in on the floor, and he saw Miro, and Miro looked back at him. Now they are face to face. Chapter 1 end. If you'd like a part 2 for this, then hit like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below if I should do this for the whole comic from the first arc.
And we'll fly. Oh, we'll fly. I will fly.